so confusing even for native speakers. And that's why for several words that end in O, we just actually accept both spellings. Hey everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Catalin, and this video is part 2 of my Plural Rules series. In my first video, part 1, I discussed the first 4 plural rules, and if you would like to watch that, I have left the link in the description box down below for you. And in part 2, this video, we will be going over the rest of the plural rules. And once you know these, you are well on your way to being an English plural master. So let's get straight into it and start learning some plural rules. The first plural rule that we're learning today is for words that end in a consonant and a Y. For these kinds of words, we take away the Y and add an IES. For example, the word baby. Baby ends in a consonant B and a Y, so we take away the Y and add an IES, and it becomes babies. And same for country. We take away the Y, add an IES, countries. Our next plural rule is for words that end in a vowel and a Y. And for these words, all we need to do is add an S onto the end. For example, boy. Boy ends in an OY, O is a vowel, and then of course Y, so we just add an S and it becomes boys. So now we come to words that end in an O, and words ending in O can be a little bit tricky to make plural. Sometimes we add S and other times we add ES. So most of the time for words that end in a vowel and an O, we just need to add S. For example, kangaroo, which ends in a vowel O, and again another O, we just need to add S to make this plural, so it becomes kangaroos. Then for words that end in a consonant O, for most of these words we add an ES onto the end. For example, potato. Potato ends in a TO, T is a consonant, so we add ES and it becomes potatoes. However, for this particular rule, there are several exceptions. For example, photos, pianos, kilos, and there are some more as well. Unfortunately, there's no real rule to these exceptions, and you're just going to have to memorize them. Spelling the plural of words that end in O can be pretty difficult because there are a lot of exceptions to the 2 rules that I just taught you. And it can be so confusing even for native speakers. And that's why for several words that end in O, we just actually accept both spellings. For example, the words volcano, mango, mosquito, zero, and avocado. All of these words that end in O, the plural spelling can either be just with an S or with an ES. Both spellings are correct, you just get to choose. The next 3 rules that I'm going to teach you aren't as important as the plural rules that I taught you in part 1 or in the beginning of this video. And that's because there aren't actually that many words that you need to remember these rules for. But I still want to teach you them anyway because I think it's important that you know everything that you can about plurals. Our next rule is for words that end in a US. And for most of these words, we take away that US and we add an I. For example, cactus becomes cacti. The only exception to this rule that I can think of is octopus. There is a little bit of debate as to whether the plural of octopus is octopi or octopuses, and I think that the plural is octopuses just because of the history and the origin of the word, but unless you're an absolute grammar nerd like I am, I don't think that you really need to get into that. Just remember that the plural of octopus is not octopi, but it is octopuses. Our 6th rule is for words that end in an IS. And for words like this, we take away that IS and we change it to an ES. For example, analysis, ending in an IS. Take that away, add an ES, and it becomes analyses. And our very last rule for words that end in an ON, to make these kinds of words plural, we change the ON into an A. For example, the plural of phenomenon is phenomena. So those are all the plural rules. Don't forget to watch part 1 if you haven't. In the next part, part 3, that will be the final part of this series, I will be teaching you about irregular plurals. So all those annoying little words that don't like to follow any of the rules that we've just learned. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. And if you enjoyed this video, please also like it. And don't forget to go and like my Facebook page and follow me on Instagram if you guys haven't already. I will see you guys later. Bye bye!